Past month, I have been playing the minimalism game where I have been trying to declutter 465 items throughout the month. And while I plan to make a separate video on my experience doing that challenge, I thought today I could focus on one area that I have been decluttering, and that is my closet. I have done quite a few closet declutters over the past few months, and I kind of want to keep documenting those as I work toward a minimalist wardrobe. I have an extremely complicated relationship with clothing. For much of my teens, 20s, and pretty much up until now, it has been a major part of my identity. And while I have found joy in that, I have also had a lot of stress, anxiety, debt, and shame around it. And one of the very first ways that I tried to fix myself was to work toward a minimalist wardrobe. The only problem was that I never really addressed my shopping addiction, and so I would just continue to buy more stuff only to declutter it a short while later. And I just don't want to continue that way anymore. I want to only have the things that I love and wear on a regular basis, and to only replace those items when they wear out, or to buy myself something just as an occasional treat. In October, I took the first step toward finally achieving this goal when I decided to do a no-buy year, which I'm currently 7 months into. I am no longer bringing in a continuous cycle of clothing, shoes, handbags, or jewelry, and at the same time I have been slowly chipping away at the unworn items that I currently own. And finally, a minimalist wardrobe actually feels like it's a possibility. As I was looking through all of the clothing items that I had chosen to declutter, I noticed that they fell into one of 5 categories, and I just wanted to share them with you today in the hopes that maybe you could apply these to your own wardrobe. The first category is clothing that doesn't fit. How often do we hold on to clothing that is either too big or too small? Maybe it's a pair of jeans that we loved at one point that are just a little too tight now, or maybe it's a pair of pants that are too big but we hold on to them just in case. And whenever I see the items that are too small, I feel this pressure to try to fit back into them, or when I see the items that are too big, I feel a pressure to alter these items to make them fit my body now. And I honestly don't want to do either of those things. So I am finally just getting rid of the items that are too small and too big, and just getting those negative vibes out of my closet. The second category is clothing that you haven't worn in the past year. A 2018 study by Moving Off found that American closets contain 82% of unworn items, while that number is 79% for Canadians and 73% in the UK, just to name a few. So I'm willing to bet that you're in the same boat as me, and you could go to your closet right now and pull out at least 5 items that you haven't worn in the past year. Why do we even hang on to these items that are just a reminder of all the time and money that we've wasted accumulating these things that we don't ever wear? Category 3 is clothing that you never wear because you have a similar item that you prefer more. How often have you put on an item only to take it off and put on something that was very similar but that you feel so much better in when you wear it? When we find a particular style or color of clothing that we like, we have a tendency to buy similar items instead of just appreciating that item that we originally loved. And in most cases, we will opt to wear the original item over all of the subsequent items that we bought that were similar. Category 4 is clothing that doesn't align with your lifestyle. Have you bought clothing thinking that this would be amazing for, or are you holding onto clothing from a lifestyle that you no longer live? I know I have, and I am. And it's hard to let go of those items and to acknowledge that you don't have that fantasy life, or that your current life is different than how your life was in the past. But holding on to those items holds us back from being content with the life that we actually live. Category 5 is clothing that is difficult to wear. Here I mean clothing that isn't functional, or the fit is just a little bit off. or it's clothing that is uncomfortable, or the style or color doesn't suit you anymore. What we wear has a huge impact on how we feel and how we project that confidence or lack thereof to the world. I'm curious how many of these categories you recognize in your own closet. Please share them in the comments below. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like and subscribing if you haven't already for more minimal and intentional living videos. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!